Locking in can be so easy, especially when you have all these things. All right, let's do this in order. As soon as I wake up, I go on my phone, open up TikTok, and strategically watch videos for 30 minutes. All right, this is obviously a joke. I am serious that I used to do this quite a bit. Obviously not the strategic part, but that's what I would tell myself, that I'm just studying people or I'm learning something, whatever excuse I used to give myself to essentially cope of why I just spent 30 minutes on TikTok, on Instagram, or just my phone in general. You don't need to do this first thing in the morning or at all, in fact. So that's exactly why I have my alarm on my phone that's sitting at my desk. That way I have to get up, turn it off, and right now I am finally up. This just means that you are less likely to actually go on your phone. So ideally, this simple trick can save you from doom scrolling first thing in the morning. The real thing that I use every single day is a water bottle. I try to drink about 16 ounces first thing in the morning. Then I go straight to the bathroom. I wash my face with cold water. This way I feel like I really wake up. Now, I don't wash my face just quite yet. I save this for after my workout, but I do like working out in the morning, so this is definitely coming up pretty soon. From here, I go back to my desk behind me, and then I get straight to work. But this is what's called shallow work. If you read the book Deep Work, this is exactly what I'm talking about. These are things that are not as important. Maybe just sending out a few emails, checking on some stuff. The way I like to think this is doing at least something to get your brain moving. I do this for only like 10-15 minutes. Then I go to my favorite part of my morning, and that is writing out what do I need to get done today. Now, for the longest, I recommended a journal and a pen. I still really do like that, but as of lately, I've been using something else that is way better. And that is this app called Time Pages plus Actions. This is a subscription based, but it is insanely affordable. I have this on my MacBook, my iPhone, and my iPad. Now, depending on the day, I have something scheduled for that exact day. So that's definitely on the priority list. But with the Actions app, I quickly write down things that I need to get done. In my case, this is stuff like filming videos, editing, filming certain B-rolls, ideation, I guess just content creator stuff, and then anything else that I'm working on in the side. Now, around this time, it's probably around 7:30, 8 a.m. I do like to wake up early. So once I feel good enough, this is when I start to get ready for the gym. I'll have a quick pre-workout snack, then I am off to the gym. As of right now, I am on a push-pull legs workout. Since we're going into the summer, I'm actively trying to cut. In fact, I finally broke underneath 170 pounds. Right now, I'm weighing 168. I'm really excited to go a little bit more down. In fact, my goal weight is 162 pounds. That actually might be too much, but we'll just see how it goes. But as of lately, my workout routine is so fire. In fact, I'm actually in the process of writing down what my favorite workouts are and in what order do I like them best. Reason being is because I'm finally working on a new workout program. Let me know if you are interested in that, because I really do feel like this could help you out. Now, of course, going to the gym is really all you need, but if you have certain things to help you out, this is really going to help you lock in the gym. So this is exactly what I recommend. I first carry around this gym bag everywhere that I go. Inside here, I like to keep a lifting belt, more so for my top sets. I carry around my headphones as well. I carry around some basketball shoes in case I want to play basketball. This is just an extra fun way to have some extra cardio. And I'd be lying to say if I'm not insane at basketball. All I'm saying, if I wasn't 5'8", I'd probably be in the NBA. And one thing that I really carry on me is my Whoop. This tracks the intensity of my workouts, my daily steps, and so much more. In fact, that's something that I highly recommend if you really want to lock in, is documenting your journey, especially when it comes to your workouts. I'm actually trying to make this new workout program into more of a journal as well, so you could track the intensity of your workouts instead of just going through the motions. I'm trying to make this in a way to help guide you on what movements are actually helping and to track your progress, which I think is the #1 tip that I can give anyone who wants to lock in. And that is something that we're going to talk about a lot in this video. Now, I also love running. You don't necessarily have to do that. There are other forms of cardio that you could do, like going on the treadmill, Stairmasters. I've actually been swimming a little bit here and there, but going on runs is something that I highly recommend. For this, all I really need are some in-ear headphones, some running shoes. I like these from On, and then the app Strava to track your workouts. And if you want to follow me on Strava, so that way we can keep each other accountable, feel free to do that. And then, of course, again, that Whoop, just to track your steps during your run and really make sure that you're hitting that 10,000 steps a day benchmark. So as soon as I get back, I try to keep my workouts between an hour to an hour 30, including my cardio. That's just because I like to go back and really do my work. So I keep my workouts short and efficient. That way I'm not exhausted throughout the rest of the day. That's a huge mistake that I used to make as well, was thinking that the more hours you spend in the gym means the bigger and faster you could start making progress. That's not the case at all. It's all about training smart. And I feel like I'm really starting to get that down. As soon as I get back, I drink more water, but since you were sweating a ton, you need some good electrolytes. This also should help with brain fog because I feel like the more I'm dehydrated, the less your brain starts to function. So throw in some electrolytes. These from Element are so fire. They actually sent this to me. This video is not sponsored, but so far I have nothing nothing but good things to say about this brand. These are actually going to be linked in the description because I really do recommend them, as well as everything else that I'm talking about in this video. Now from here, you obviously have to shower. Don't hold this off until later. So here are a few things when it comes to personal hygiene to help you lock in and look better. So in the shower, just shampoo and conditioner and some good body wash. I've been really loving this body wash from Shea Moisture. I love the way this makes my skin feel, and it just smells incredible. Now you could also wash your face in the shower. I like to do this when I get out so I could have a full routine, and just like everything else, I keep this short and efficient. I wash my face with a daily cleanser. This one is from Tish Hanley. Now the thing is with Tish Hanley, you're gonna get this in a kit. It's gonna come with an AM and PM moisturizer, as well as a few other things depending on which one you get. I do like their basic cleanser, so I go with the first package because when it comes to serums, the number one brand that I do recommend is The Ordinary. The one specific that I use every single day is this hyaluronic acid. This is going to really hydrate your face. And truth be told, this is the number one product that I've used on my face that's made a very big difference. It's made my skin glow, made my skin softer. Hydration is very important for your skin. Now, since we are in the summer, you need a daily sunscreen, because this is something that I throw on right here. Now, I hate to say it, but I feel like I do need some caffeine in order to really lock in. So I'll go to my kitchen, start up my Keurig, and this is actually when I eat breakfast as well. For breakfast, keep it very simple, especially if you're making this yourself every day. I really prioritize small things that I could cook up every single day that taste really good. For me, my favorite meal right now is 93.7 ground beef. This just means that it's leaner, less fatty, therefore more protein, less calories. I'll whip this up with some eggs and some sourdough toast. And again, paired with that black coffee, this is my favorite breakfast that I'm pretty much eating every single day. This is also helping me lose weight because it's very satiating, gets me perfectly through the rest of the morning, and again, it's just really easy to make. Once I'm done with that, this is when I sit down and truly lock in and get to work, because I already know what I need to get done. I have my priorities set right in front of me. I don't have to coast through my day not knowing what I need to get done and eventually forgetting about something, because again, it's just all laid out right in front of me. In fact, this is the time where I get into deep work. This just essentially means that I'm getting into a period of time where I'm working with no distractions and I'm thinking deeply about the tasks that I'm doing. Now, what I like to do is work in 90-minute segments. So if I'm doing something certain, I allocate 90 minutes to that. And if I'm not finished, then it's going to be another 90 minutes until I'm finished, and then I'll work on the next thing. Now, I actually considered buying one of those timers that you could have right there on your desk. I just use this on my phone, pretty much the same thing. And in fact, this kind of helps me a little bit more because I try not to let myself use my phone while there's a timer currently on my phone. But if you need the extra help, there are some good productivity apps. I really like Opal. This lets you choose what apps that you should block out. For me, that's Instagram, TikTok, and plenty others. Now, one mistake that I used to make was holding off my meals until later, but now I actually allow myself to eat about 3 or 4 hours after I just had my first meal. And yes, that entire time was spent back here. I used to wait to eat until I was absolutely starving. That is not okay. In fact, that is really going to slow you down. When you're not eating and you're starving yourself, your brain is going to slow down because your brain is actually run off carbs. You're not going to be able to think clearly. And unfortunately, I used to really depend on caffeine to push me through this kind of slow down curve, which is one of the worst mistakes I've ever made. I no longer do that. I instead just eat another good meal. Speaking of which, if you want a little grocery list added to that workout program, I'll probably actually end up doing that. But to really make sure that you're staying into deep work, stay hydrated, cut your distractions, and then of course, follow through your priorities. In fact, I heard a really good quote the other day that said, life is just made up of a compilation of the present. What this means to me is the fact that what you do right now is going to dictate how your future looks like. And the position that you are in today was dictated by the decisions that you made in the present moments back then. So if you have goals to hit, don't push them off until later if you can work on it today. And as far as those 90-minute segments go, I don't just do 90 minutes, 90 minutes, 90 minutes until I am absolutely done with everything. I absolutely need sunlight. So whenever I feel like I need to, when I'm done with the 90-minute segment, I'll either go on a walk, get some sunlight, or again, just get some water, hydrate, or eat. Especially the walking. It's probably the third time I mentioned in this video about walking 10,000 steps. Walking is very important for you, not only to lose weight, but also it gives you more blood flow, will help you think more clearly, overall, just improving your life. In fact, when you're walking, this is a good time to listen to a good audiobook. But one of the things that I do use every day is Audible, especially during those 15-20 minute walks. And since we are in the summer, I am working on my tan. So at certain times, I'll just go outside. I'll sit in my apartment's common area and just tan for a little bit. Sunlight is just really important. But again, if you're not using sunscreen, it could damage your skin. So really make sure that you are using that. And yes, if you are wondering, tanning will definitely make you look more attractive. And in fact, it'll even make you look better, especially if you work out. This is going to make your muscles look bigger and more defined. I truly think in order to really lock in, you have to really challenge yourself. So one of the first things that come to mind is having a certain amount of miles that you want to run this week. That's exactly why I like weekly challenges, monthly challenges, and so forth. So for example, if I really want to challenge myself this week, I'll tell myself that I want to run 20 miles. Now I could either break this up into daily miles or every other day, but because I know exactly what I want to do this week, I know exactly how to go about achieving this. You are going to go way further. So if you need absolutely any help, DM me on Instagram and I'll be more than happy to help you out. Since it is summer and you want to know how to glow up this summer, here's a video to show you exactly that.